Can we get out of here, please? Stormy, stormy night. Let's paint the lab a magical green. Brother! Anyway, did you know Starmie has a unique feature in the anime where upon low health its core flashes? Something that's believed to be inspired from another anime, Ultraman, where they also have a flashing core when they become weak. While Ultraman is an extraterrestrial being, Starmie is also believed to be one. Cool, huh? 07 in the comments for a brother. Thanks for letting me escape the lab. In the next episode, we hope to pivot to something that has more than one useful move. What will we find? Subscribe to find out. Previously, we beat up our own kind to get out of the lab. Sometimes you don't choose to pivot, but the pivot chooses you. But then you fail so hard it says, "Get the f out of my face." So I picked any mon higher level than mine so I could play Starmie, Starmie. Oh wait. Beldum, Beldum night. Let's paint this forest gray and blue. One down. Dad? No more Beldum. Guys, please don't let me pivot to another Beldum again.
Back to the lab again.
Coughing. A glass cannon with only one matching move? Good luck to me. Coughing. I've got a good idea for what the next regional form of wheezing might be. The first hint is coughing and wheezing are both based on air pollution, and this Pokedex entry, indicating a triplet variant of wheezing, was already discovered. So the next variant, it might look very earthly, with lots of forest and greenery in place of smog. But when it gets mad, it lights up like a wildfire and spreads across wheezing. I think it's gonna be poison and grass type. Wouldn't that be cool? What's your variant like? Let me know in the comments. Bye bye pollution.
And there goes the battle.
What's the matter, trainer? Today is a sick day. So text-to-speech will be my voice. I got this Geodude today that's nothing spectacular, but one thing led to another and I thought, how does a Geodude breed if it's just a rock? One of the many mysteries of Pokemon. Also, to add to such mystery, according to a girl in Salation Town, where one of many Pokemon daycares are located, no one has ever seen a Pokemon lay an egg, and thus, it is not confirmed that this is how they appear. According to another gentleman in Hearthome City, and a monsieur in Coumarine City, eggs are not actually eggs and are more like cradles. So do they just dance or perform a ritual to summon an egg? What do you think happens? Let me know in the comments.
Who's the next challenger today? I talk about having good stats a lot, but what does it really mean? But first, it's win or
Back to the lab again.
Here's a small glimpse of how the attack stat works. Over the years, the formula for damage calculation has changed and only gotten longer and longer and longer. But within it is this little fraction that becomes the attack multiplier based on your attack stat divided by your target's defense stat. Obviously, the higher your number is, the better your damage potential. So in a Kaizo run where we only carry one Pokemon, every advantage we can squeeze out the better. This was doomed from the start.
What a wild turn of events.
Be Onyx. Do we win today? Or
Back to the lab again.
if we're lucky, maybe Crabhammer can win the fight. But did you know the Pokemon Company introduced this concept without anyone noticing very early in the anime, before the term regional variant was officially introduced? It may have been unintentional at the time, and it was a very small variant, but in Season 2, Episode 17, Ash encounters Bruno looking for an Onix. Onix in this specific mountain are at least twice as large due to living in a richer soil environment, a clear demonstration of what environmental impacts has on Pokemon. Look at the size difference between Brock's Onyx and this wild one. If only we had that Onyx, then we'd trample over this nose pass. See you in the next run.
It's finally taken down.
Dear Diary, today marks the start of run 67. The professor handed me a Furo. I don't like birds, especially crows, but I am nearing 100 runs with no clear end in sight, and our personal best was meeting Brock's Jirachi. I'm afraid I don't know when I'll beat Kaizo Ironmon, let alone beat it with a spoink. I haven't even seen a spoink. Leaving the lab has lost its novelty. Why has nobody mowed their lawn yet? What's so important that the professor gets a package delivered daily? I'll never know. Maybe this Metatite will have a chance to evolve into a spoink for me if I catch it. Why are these bug catchers here when there are no bugs in the forest? But maybe they'll let me beat them so that I can see Brock again. I guess they won't. Cue the jingle. Huh? Back to
the lab again.
What a wild turn of events.
Pray for a clean run today, or
Back to the lab again.
Swablu might be the most useful Pokemon in real life. Obviously, flying is great, but most important of all, it loves to clean. A small detail you might have missed is Route 113, which is full of volcanic soot. But in the following Route 114, where Swablu can be found, it's like a mini paradise. You can say goodbye to that robot vacuum and befriend a horde of Swablu instead. Just not this one.
It's finally taken down.
Lightning never strikes twice, but I just needed to strike once. Or it's...
Back to the lab again.
Electric's category in Japanese is Inazuma, which in simple terms means lightning, but Electric's category has a deeper meaning. In Japan's past, lightning was thought to be the husband of rice plants. As lightning occurred during the seasons they grow, lightning was thought to have struck rice plants and be the reason for a good harvest. Now, Electric doesn't actually do any of this in the game, but it does strike the hearts of many people in the anime series. They say an Electric is a man's best friend, and when they strike, friendships sprout, and everyone reaps the benefits. I hope this was a good tie-in and fun fact. Unfortunately, I have to bid this Electric goodbye.
Gone. It didn't stand a chance.
Ring ring, I'd like a win please. Or it's...
Back to the lab again.
For the first time in the series, I have nothing to say about this Pokemon. Like, there's just nothing to mention, other than the fact that in the anime, James from Team Rocket actually has one. But did you ever notice that James has all the cute Pokemon? Honestly, that's all there is to Chimecho's. There's nothing else about this Pokemon, except this one other thing. Did you know that Chimecho is inspired from the Japanese hurin, which is a bowl-shaped wind chime? Chimecho uses all three things that make up the Japanese wind chime: the bowl, clapper, and the paper that hangs and flutters in the breeze. But unlike the real thing, Chimecho's not made of three interchangeable parts. The Pokemon Company had a chance to make the coolest thing with Chimecho, kind of on the same vein as Spinda, because no two Spindas are the same. Each Chimecho could have had a unique paper design, but think of all the product marketing opportunities. You can have Chimecho... The impenetrable fortress will win, or it's...
Back to the lab again.
Today we will take a brief look at the evolution of Fortress's design, dating back to 1999. We have the...
Can't see my forehead.
Look, and then it turned into...
May I take your hat, sir?
And then it became...
Where's the leak, ma'am?
Before finally evolving into...
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Must have been a confusing time for the artist of Fortress. Keep trying, Patrick. I mean, Fortress.
Finland!
Back to the lab again. Back to the lab again.